On behalf of the School Building Committee, I want to thank you for attending this building construction milestone and exciting community project, now over 5 years in the making. Today, following tradition, we celebrate the placement of the last beam on the new school building and recognize the hard work of the construction contractors and particularly the steel workers. And thank you for being on schedule and on budget. The role of the committee is to guide the process of planning, design, and budgeting for the new school building and to bring together the team of educators, administrators, designers, contractors, and residents for the singular goal of building this 21st century elementary school. Under the leadership of Superintendent Derek Swenson, along with the experienced consultants and all of the contributors throughout the district and town, we have a great team. There are too many dedicated people to thank individually. Many are listed in the program, but I want to thank the Mass School Building Authority for accepting our project into the program and providing the cost sharing and standardized framework helping to make this project happen. Most importantly, I want to thank the residents of Bridgewater who voted to make the financial commitment to support the children of Bridgewater and Raynham. Thank you. Finally, I want to thank the committee communication group for organizing this great time. Next, I'm going to introduce Senator Mark Pacheco, but before that, I wanted to mention that Representative D'Amelia, who wasn't sure he could make it, is here in attendance and may or may not speak later, I'm not sure. But with that, I'd like to introduce Senator Mark Pacheco, and thank you for attending.
Thank you very, very much, John. And let's just begin by giving a round of applause to John and everybody on the building committee, everybody that's been taking time to put all of the work into the countless numbers of meetings to meet with architects, local officials, etc. It is an extraordinary process, and I've had the occasion to be involved in it over the years, and it's a lot of work. And so I want to thank all of the local officials that are here, members of the Board of Selectmen, members of the school board, the town manager, everybody that's been involved with this project. It is extremely important that we have these types of resources dedicated for public education facilities all across the Commonwealth. My colleague and I in the legislature have the great honor to come to these events and represent all of you, the taxpayers of Massachusetts, and here today the taxpayers of Bridgewater, who've contributed to make sure that we make the right decisions and we have these types of facilities for the young people that will utilize them for their public education. I wanted to be here specifically today because as I look back over my district with Bridgewater Raynham, and I look just back to 2004, which is not that long ago, over $117 million has flowed to this part of the district investing in public education facilities. That is quite significant. That's not the total investment because obviously those state funds leverage the local funds that are put in by local taxpayers. And so I want to thank the taxpayers of Massachusetts and certainly Bridgewater, as John did, for making that sacrifice so that we can invest in our collective future. The other reason why I am proud to be here today is because of the name that will be on this building, as it was on the old building. And for those of you that remember George Mitchell, and some of you that were products of his classroom, you are the Mitchell monsters that are among us. And I think of people like George. I think of people like Chris Slater. And many of you know that if you saw George, Chris wasn't too far behind. And they're both looking down on us today with this topping off ceremony. And I can picture George just smiling away and can't believe it's taking place. I can remember as he was a classroom teacher, and he invited me to come in and do a reading with some of the elementary students that he was teaching. And I had to basically almost crawl along the floor of the classroom to get up to the front of the classroom, because he had all kinds of sheets and blankets and all kinds of things all over the classroom. And, working with the kids and making education fun. So I was so proud when the system named the school after him a few years ago. I can't be more happy that we have this facility now named in his honor, an educator that made education fun, that created opportunities for the future and literally touched the future. Those of you that are educators that are here, those in public education, you have the great honor of touching the future. You make all the difference in the world. We're so proud of you and what you do. And the young people that are here will have the opportunity to be here in the summer, I guess, of 2022, when this school will open. Hopefully, as John said, on time and on budget. And we'll be able to see the future blossom before us. Let me conclude by thanking the treasurer and those in the Mass School Building Assistance Program that are with us. Mr. MacDonald is here giving remarks for the Deputy Treasurer. I saw him several weeks ago in Taunton, where we were doing another one of these events. Anytime you buy something in Massachusetts and you're paying that sales tax, and you wonder where your tax dollar is going, please know that 1 penny of that sales tax is set aside for school building construction in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. So we are together, collectively, investing in our future. So thank you for that. And I want to thank the Treasurer's Office and the School Building Assistance Program for the wonderful job that they do. I want to thank the Superintendent, Superintendent Swanson, and certainly Fred Chase is here, and you'll hear from everyone else that's on the various committees. Chair Rachel King is here. I want to thank all of you for the great work that you've done. Please let me know if I can be helpful in the future. Unfortunately, fortunately, I'm going to be leaving here in a few minutes. I would like to stay for the whole program. But we in the Senate are in formal session today. The House of Representatives, my good colleague, Representative Angela D'Amelia, they were in session, I think, yesterday and the day before. and they had sent over various pieces of legislation that need to be acted on. Today, I have my full suit on out here with you. Usually I would have my suit and my tie and my pajama bottoms, right? With Zoom these days. Everybody's on Zoom almost 24/7 if you're doing what I'm doing. So I've got to get back and get Zooming because at 11 o'clock we go into formal session and we start voting. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to be one of the people voting on your behalf. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Senator Pacheco, very much, and we look forward to a lot of engagement with your office in certainly the months and years to come. For those lucky enough not to know me, I'm Michael Dutton, the town manager in Bridgewater, and I'd just like to welcome everybody here. It's really a momentous occasion, but really one of the things that is a little crazy is in a few minutes what we're going to see is this piece of steel going up in the air with a flag on one end and a tree on the other end. So if you were a Martian and you were landing on Earth, you would wonder what is wrong with these people. They're all gathered here halfway through a construction project to look at a beam going up in the air with a flag on one end and a tree on the other. What's the point of that? Well, really it's an opportunity for us to commemorate the safe completion of the bones of the building. And it's also, as John GERRISH pointed out, an opportunity for us to thank the construction crews that have gotten us to this point where we're celebrating sort of the superstructure of the building. And we've now used it as an opportunity before the building is finished to really thank the countless hours that volunteers and professionals have spent getting us to this point. So the superintendent and I were kind of joking with Mike Dolan when he was putting together this program that each of us had about a speech of about 15 pages of single-spaced words to certainly wisdom to partake and give to you. And well, we really don't. I don't know about the superintendent, but I just have this. So don't worry. But it did occur to me that it honestly would take about 15 pages of single-spaced pages to thank the number of people that have been involved and committed to this project and have seen it through. From the day that the roof collapsed on the original Mitchell School and back in February of 2015 to today, so many people have volunteered their efforts. From the very original committee formed by Superintendent Jackie Forbes to today's school building committee, there are way too many to thank. But it would be remiss of me not to recognize Committee Chair John GERRISH, who put himself front and center to guide this project and certainly has guided other projects in town to successful completion. So the quiet dedication of John is certainly appreciated by me and I think the whole town. So I thank you. And certainly school committee members, Mike Dolan and Lil Holbrook have dedicated much of the last 5 years to this project and seeing it through. And we've got a really strong group and a really knowledgeable group on the school building committee. Pat Driscoll, John Zialo, Mark Lindy, Michael Loesch, Joe Orvez, Harsh, Rebello, Council President Matt Rushton, who couldn't be here today, and Scott Woshup, and certainly the professional staff on the committee. I can't say, well, I'm probably in a position to know, and you may not be in a position to know the number of hours that Superintendent Swenson has spent on this building. Ryan Powers, Dennis Bray, Kathy Macedo, who's here today, Bob Pacheco, and Lisa Oman have volunteered their time and expertise to make sure that we can get the project that we have here today. And we have a number of people that have served on the committee over the years, and I say over the years, I think we're up to, 60 some odd meetings of the school building committee, and they've really been a dedicated group. But really the purpose of topping off ceremonies is to thank the construction crews. And I know we've been very lucky to have our general contractor, Bacon Construction, who obviously is here today, and our owner's project manager, Daedalus, and the folks from Daedalus that have guided this project through. And Gene Raymond, architect Gene Raymond and RDA Associates, for really showing us how to build a building, how to do it right, and how to do it professionally. And as John mentioned as well, I don't think we can thank taxpayers enough. Taxpayers from the very beginning, we went through 2 townwide votes on this project, and they both times voted overwhelmingly to support this project, and it would be remiss if I didn't mention those taxpayers who had a high degree of confidence that we could do this. Lastly, I would be remiss if I neglected to acknowledge a group that so often goes ignored and taken for granted. And while the volunteer committees meet and the professionals attend any number of night meetings about this building project, there are spouses and significant others and children and grandchildren who are often left home to have a meal by themselves with an empty space at the table for that family member who's dedicated their time and effort here. So I would like to give a special thanks, certainly from me, and I think on behalf of everybody that's been involved in this building process, to all the families who have eaten a meal at a table with an empty space. I know how much of a sacrifice that is, and I thank you. So that is what I have to say, and when the Martians come to see this steel beam lifted, we can all give them a good reason why we're doing it. So I appreciate it. I would like to thank, as I said, Superintendent Swenson, and again, for the dedication that he has put into this, and also introduce him, I think, he's next on the agenda, to say a few words as well. So thank you very much.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Derek Swenson. I am the proud superintendent of the Bridgewater-Raynham Regional School District, and I welcome all of you here this morning. And big thank you to all of those who are responsible for the planning of this event. It definitely was not me. That is definitely not in my wheelhouse of strengths, but to all those who were involved with the planning of today, I thank you. Also, we've thanked a lot of people today, and I would like to first and foremost thank the voters of Bridgewater. Without you, we don't have this incredible project standing behind me and the event that we have today. So thank all of you for being so supportive over the course of the last 6 years. I can't believe I'm saying 6 years. It seems like just yesterday. We were planning how we were going to relocate students throughout our district, and I couldn't have done that at the time without the incredible team that I have then and the incredible team that I have now that have continued that plan forward. We realized it was not a long-term plan and that we needed to make sure that we were able to enter a project that would serve the needs of our students here in the district and those of our staff. And I'm very proud to say we are standing here today with this structure behind me, knowing that we are almost there. So thank you to everyone that was involved. Also, thank you to Daedalus, and thank you to RDA and now Bacon for the incredible partnership we have created with all of you in getting this project done, and obviously MSBA to help us with the funding of this project. And I just want to end by saying that we have an incredible school district. I have an incredible team. We have incredible volunteers within this community. Mr. Dutton just kind of alluded to it, and I stated it last night at school committee. August, I believe, 13th is going to be our 58th school building committee meeting. 58 meetings to get to this point. And then in September will be our 59th. all of those individuals are volunteers. Our incredible school committee, all of those individuals are volunteers. So I really feel as though that is a reflection of the community in which we live in. And we can't have projects like this unless we have a sense of community. And I feel as though the raising of this beam today is going to be a reflection of that sense of community. And I thank all of you for being here and being part of it today and continuing to be a part of the process as we move forward. Thank you so much.
Good morning. My name is Jim MacDonald. I'm the CEO at Mass School Building Authority and the first Deputy Treasurer. On behalf of Treasurer Goldberg, the entire board at MSBA, Jack McCarthy, and I have with us here today Maria Popolo, we want to say congratulations to the team to getting to this point. You know, the steel of this building behind me was put up by Local 7. And that's really a tradition that the ironworkers started going way back in the day when the Scandinavians had that ceremony for putting the final beam up to sort of to thank the gods for supplying a tree for the work that was done on the buildings back in the day. And the steel workers have continued that tradition, you know, up until what we see today. And, you know, you have the district needs to be congratulated for having a fantastic team together that will build this and make this a something that the community will be proud of. And you know, when I look out and I see some of the younger kids here, and I know that this is a pre-K to 2, so I'm not sure whether some of these kids are gonna be able to enjoy the new building. But you know, that's what it's all about. It's really about the kids, and it's about our future, to make sure that we are giving our youngest learners, you know, the tools and the facilities that they really need in order to thrive and to become, you know, lifelong learners. And you know, earlier Senator Pacheco, you know, spoke about the contribution of the taxpayers to this building, and you know, that can never be lost on any of us. Not only for what we at MSBA contribute, but also what the taxpayers of the district. And you know, you are fortunate to have, you know, 2 members of the legislature that really care about your district and about your education and about facilities. You know, Representative D'Amelia, who's here with us today, and Senator Pacheco are champions. They frequently call us and asking us, you know, how can they help us? Because when they help us, we help you. And you know, it wouldn't be a something remarks from somebody at MSBA, and Maria's going to be laughing because she knows exactly what I'm going to say. So Jack McCarthy always ends his remarks with a story. There was a reporter in the Salt Lake Tribune. His name was Dan Valentine, and he wrote that a school is a building with 4 walls with tomorrow inside, and we at the MSBA are proud to be a part of your tomorrow. Thank you.
Well, good morning. Welcome. My name is Fred Chase, and I'd like to just thank and call attention, if I could, to the presence here today of Representative D'Amelia, of Mr. Dutton, the town manager, members of the Bridgewater Raynham School Committee, members of the Building Committee, and certainly also my colleagues on the Bridgewater Town Council, as well as all the construction workers, honored guests, and dignitaries here today. This is a truly tremendous event, and I think a moment that we're going to long remember. I'm privileged to appear before you today on behalf of the Bridgewater Town Council and on behalf of our president, Matt Rushton, who was unable to appear today owing to a scheduled conflict, but who asked that I stand in his place. So today marks the countdown of the final year to completion of this tremendous project. And I think it's appropriate to pay note, as many of the speakers before me have, to the contributions of so many people in so many roles that have brought us to this place today. these are really selfless contributions that have gone a long way to accomplish this goal, and we should call to attention and note the dedication of the individuals who've done this work. I think that it's appropriate, and I think that it's actually very much in keeping with the dedication and commitment of George Mitchell himself, who was not only a tremendously qualified educator, but a selfless individual and someone who was fondly remembered by so many in the town. My son Tyler Chase was a member of Mitchell's Monsters. I think that Mrs. Holbrook would probably attest to that today, as would a number of others perhaps among you. And he fondly remembers his time in Mr. Mitchell's classroom. And this building, as the building prior, is a wonderful tribute to his career and his professionalism. I think that as every teacher knows, every educator, there certainly is a requirement for a commitment of heart, a real passion for education. And I know that's exactly what brings you educators to the classroom each day. And so too for the volunteers who have assisted us in getting to this important point. So I do want to just thank you, as well as the citizens of Bridgewater, the taxpayers of Bridgewater. That's been important to note. And I think that the building completion next summer, I certainly look forward to observing and participating in. I hope that all of you do too. And I know how eager the educators among us here today are to actually take possession of that building and begin to control the futures of so many of our Bridgewater children. Thank you very much.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Rachel King. I am the school committee chair for the Bridgewater-Rainham School District. I just want to thank you all for being here on this beautiful sunny day, once it's not raining. And I'm so glad that we get to share this on this beautiful day. On behalf of the school committee, I would like to thank our state and local authorities, honored guests, and our parents and students and community members that are here to share this momentous occasion with us, the topping off of our new Mitchell Elementary School building. As stated by a few of the speakers, the raising of this last steel beam is a major milestone in any building project and has been for centuries. These top beams are placed in a ceremony for good luck. In today's modern world, we still hold that importance to impart not only good fortune on the building, but to recognize this great accomplishment of the builders, the construction crew, and the community in this building. It symbolizes the completion of the structural part of this project and also celebrates the future of this building. Can we have a big hand for the steel workers and the construction crew? I also want to thank our school building committee for putting this together. I know this has been a long time. As stated, it's been 58 meetings for them. So members of admin, school committee, community members, volunteering their time to make sure that everything is in order and that make sure we're on track and on budget and keeping on top of everything. We're so thankful to the community of Bridgewater for getting us here today. You saw how vital this school is to your town, and that especially for our youngest students, and for that we are forever grateful. This topping off ceremony truly celebrates this Mitchell School project, and we're so excited to see this project coming together and to look ahead when you can finally welcome your students back into your new home. We do urge everyone to continue to follow along this next year with the progress online at the BridgewaterSchoolProject.com or the Facebook page, Bridgewater School Project. Thank you all for being here today and for being part of this milestone. And we can't wait to see the next year what this new building is going to look like and to welcome everyone back home.
I'm sure that I was going to be able to attend because we were supposed to have formal session today, but that's why I wasn't on the agenda. I really have to say how proud I am to represent the 8th Plymouth District, all of Bridgewater and all of Rainham. There's not a community I'd rather have throughout the whole Commonwealth to represent. And everything's kind of been touched on already, but I want to reiterate one more time. I am so proud of the fact that our community prioritizes our children and education. And this is a testament to that fact. And that's why I love this community so much. So with that, let's get to the beam raising. God bless.